Welcome back to another video. As you can see, I've came dressed in full Norwegian tourist attire for this video. If you're hoping for a travel vlog, unfortunately this video isn't it. This is a bit of a mid-trip update video, I suppose, where I sit and cover some topics, things like how's the van been, different spots, what I've liked, what I've disliked, the cost of the trip so far, and all of that sort of stuff. If you are hoping for the vlog, skip to the next video or the previous video. This one is me sitting talking. I thought I'd make this video mainly because I'm in a bit of a predicament at the minute. I'm in Lardal at the minute, which is beautiful. It's an old historic town, stunning place. But I'm torn because if I head up to Geiranger, which I was planning on doing, then that's about 5 hours worth of driving. But then in 2 days' time, I've got to drive back to Bergen to pick Danny up so we can go to the hotel and everything there. But that's now about 10 hours worth of driving. And I didn't want to head any further north, especially when I've got to come back up here to finish the road trip anyway. So it's a bit of an awkward one. So while I figure out what I'm going to do, I thought I'd make this video. In terms of the day-to-day shooting of the videos, I'm in a decent place with that at the minute, actually. So I get up at about 7, 8 o'clock, have a coffee, do my journal, start shooting the video at about 9 or whenever I leave the park up. I'll shoot till maybe 4, sometimes 5 o'clock at the latest if I can, and then I'll start editing that specific day's video as soon as I park up. So that's pretty much why all the videos end then. That'll take us 2 or 3 hours, so I'll be editing the video till 7, half 7ish, maybe 8 o'clock. Then I'll cook some food if I'm having any tea. A lot of days I've just skipped it because I haven't had time. Jump in the shower and then bed. And I've done that every day bar 2. So it's been harder than I thought it was going to. Some days it's easy and I'm like, there's so much cool footage, it's easy to work with, everything's good. But other days it's like pulling teeth. There's been some of the videos that I've made up to now where I can't even watch them. I'm like, there's nothing really going on, but that is obviously the hard part of a daily vlog, is that is just what I've done that day, unfortunately. So it's been good and bad all at the same time. But I feel like I kind of have a bit of a routine. Whether them videos have done well or not, I don't know. At this point, the videos have done quite well. But I don't know if they'll still be doing well by the time this video actually gets live. In terms of photography, again, it's been quite easy. It shows me preferences to photography have changed massively, because previously I always wanted to be in the middle of nowhere shooting landscapes. I hate that now. I hate the honeypot locations. I want to see stuff where there's a little bit of industrial stuff. There's a balance between like man-made things and nature. But Norway's so beautiful, it's almost impossible to get a bad photograph. I didn't think it was going to be the case, but I honestly would say Mandal is by far my favourite place in Norway, without a doubt. There's not even anywhere that's come close up to now. Jorpland, I loved it there as well, but Mandal for me had everything. It's got an incredible, beautiful town, like stunning place. Great food, the best kebab shop I've ever had outside of the UK, so hats off, you've done a cracking job with that. The sort of harbour and the walks around there are beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. You've got little private coves everywhere. There's like gorgeous nature walks everywhere. You've got everything. Literally anything you could think of. You've still got amazing scenery. Perfect. For me, Mandal is the place. That much so that I've fully changed the beginning part of the book to incorporate Mandal properly, because before it was like somewhere you sort of would maybe stop off to see the beach, but then you press on. Now I've changed that. So I loved it there. The best wild camping spot was definitely the first place where me and the Belgian couple stayed. Stephen and his missus, and I am sorry for keep calling you his missus, but I keep forgetting your name, so you're his missus at this point. That was a beautiful wild camping spot. Last night's wasn't bad either, to be fair, which was been on the previous video, but the first one that I spent with them, which was my first wild camping spot in Norway, that was the one I would say was the nicest. Unexpected gems, I would say, is potentially Lardal, which is where I am currently. The little town, the old town thing, is beautiful. And what's most unexpected about it is because it looks a bit like Beamish, which is in England, like a historic museum type town, or somewhere like that, or maybe it's even like an old film set. It kind of looks like that. But then people were coming out in and out of the houses. People actually live there. Beautiful place. I wouldn't fancy living there in the summer though, because I bet this gets busy with tourists, but very, very nice. In terms of my favourite stop-offs, I would definitely say the first waterfall. I cannot remember the name of it, but I'll put the name on the screen now. That was just mind-blowing. Beautiful, awe-inspiring, powerful. The scenery was amazing. The walk up towards the sort of, I only done sort of half of it. That was just incredible. That was definitely my favourite, just one-off stop, because it just blew my mind. In terms of driving roads, they're all beautiful. The entire country's beautiful. So really, yeah, just any road. You could just drag and drop your little Google Maps, man, on any road in Norway and the scenery will be incredible. But my favourite one was probably the mountain pass to Roldal. It was a little bit more on the dramatic side. Maybe I overreacted a little bit, to be honest. It was just how exposed it was, and I hadn't seen a car or a house for a long time. And then obviously the temperature was dropping and there was big piles of snow, and I just thought, if any of that collapses on me, I am goosed. But in terms of like my favourite drive, that was definitely it, just purely because it was so different. Like the scenery up there is just completely different from the rest of the drives that I've done. Onto the van itself. The van, up to now, touch wood, if any of this is even real wood, has been pretty much flawless. The driving side of it, it's a joy to drive. I actually really enjoy driving it. I feel like I've got the tyre pressures and the suspension dialed in perfectly. It's smooth. The roads are perfect here though as well, so even if you're in an old rattly bus, in all fairness, most of the roads, like, there's not a bump, there's not a pothole, there's nothing. The only time you'll hear anything is if you're in the centre of the road or slightly on the edge and they've got the rumble bits on the side and in the middle. Other than that, the roads are perfect. So the van driving has been fine. Had a couple of little issues with the habitation side of it, just with the door. And it, like, I've had to put some hinges on, not hinges, some brackets on, a couple of bits under the bed because it squeaks. That does my head in. Other than that, if I'm honest, and now people in the comments, like, some of them will say, oh, I wish you still had the Grand, I don't know why you wish I had the Grand California. It was crap in comparison. Not my thing whatsoever. And I'm not saying that's for everyone, but I would never dream of going back to a van that size after having this. It works perfectly for what I need. I've got a work area at the front, on the front table, where I've got my monitor, my keyboard, my mouse, and then the rear lounge, which is where I'm sitting now. This is my chill area. I need separation between work and chill. That's why working from home just doesn't work. And let's face it, you can kid yourself and say it does, it doesn't. You're not there, you're in two modes at the same time, and for me, I cannot be doing that. So instead, having a front work area, rear chill area, big bathroom, nice kitchen, big TV, Starlink, the internet side of it's been, the electrical side of it's been completely flawless. The gas has been fine. Everything's been no bother whatsoever up to now, but I am only halfway through, so things could change, but up to this point, it's been perfect. Challenges. I haven't really had any other than fatigue, really. My head's been a little bit battered trying to make videos every day, get the photos, and actually try and enjoy the trip. That's probably been the biggest challenge. The weather's been a little bit of a pain when it's rained, but that's just purely for the photography, because I like trying to have everything matching in a bit of a nice sequence. And on the rainy days, it kind of throws everything off because it doesn't look like the rest of the photos. But that's just me being picky, to be fair. I've been very lucky with the weather the whole time. I cannot complain. To get Norway at this time of year, the way I've had it, is extremely lucky. So I cannot complain one bit about that. Navigation has been hit and miss. So Google Maps and Apple Maps are the two that I use. Let's face it, most people use them now, and they've been very inconsistent. Sometimes Google's been bang on, sometimes Apple's been bang on. Google thinks every single mountain road is shut. Apple thinks every single mountain road is open. So I've just had to kind of drive to them and see what it says when I get there, because I can't really trust either of them for that. Finding places, they send us to the right spot, but sometimes the route they're taking us to is either a route I can't drive anymore because it's not a road anymore, or it's trying to take us down a little local street and things like that, which has just been a little bit of a pain. But now major it. I've never been sent completely to the wrong place just yet, so everything like that's been mostly okay. I experienced the same last time I was here, and in all honesty, I get the same in the UK as well. So it's not really like it's any worse or any better than normal. It's just how it normally is. So what's coming up? Well, I've got a week with Danny first, and then after that I've got a big drive back up to here. So that's been the thing. I didn't want to come too far north to have to drive all the way back to Bergen, and then have to drive all the way back up here to then carry on. Originally our flight was bringing her to Trondheim, and I was going to pick her up there and then drop her off in Bergen, which at least aligns with the trip. That didn't pan out because the flight got cancelled. So have that week, chill, no videos, just chill with Danny, bit of photography and just enjoy it. And then we'll get back up here. Then we're going to push up to the really dramatic stuff. The glaciers, the ice blue water, the ridiculous mountains. I mean, the ridiculous mountains are everywhere anyway, I suppose. But all of that kind of stuff, all the way to Trondheim and then back down. I want to go to Lillehammer, I think it's called, where the Olympic site was for the Winter Olympics, and just have a look at that. There's quite a lot still to come, to be honest. We're just halfway through, and we're barely halfway up the actual route. I've got a lot more work to do when I get back up here. I'm probably not going to have time to edit the videos while I'm on this bit each day as well, just purely because I've got so much ground to cover. So hopefully that bit will be a little bit more full of things being done each day, because I can travel a bit, maybe it's 2 hours longer if I'm not editing the video in the same day. The guide itself is coming on pretty well. I've removed probably about 5 places out of it and added maybe about 8 up to now. So everything else has worked well. The route has been good. It's kind of working nicely. There's a nice balance. It's not too much in each day, and it obviously peters off. So there's a lot of things to do in the first 3 or 4, maybe 5 stages, and then it slows right down where it's more scenery, more driving as you get a little bit more tired and a little bit more integrated into Norway. So I think it works. It works very nicely at the minute, or it has done for me. I'll see, and I'll keep adjusting it as I go. But up to now, it's worked pretty well.
You've heard of the NC 500. It's iconic, stunning beaches, epic scenery and some of the best roads in the UK, but it only scratches the surface of the Scottish Highlands. You miss out on places like the Cairngorms and even the Isle of Skye. So while I'm away filming in Norway, you can grab all 3 of our best-selling travel guides, the NC 500 Improved, the Ultimate Scottish Road Trip and the Cairngorms and Highlands, half price in a bundle. That's just £30 for all 3, only £10 per guide.
As a YouTube channel, we do not do any sponsored content, brand related content, power bank reviews or any of that. We only advertise things that we make ourselves, which is why the sales of our travel guides massively are appreciated. They support the production of videos like this, the adventures, the diesel to get to these places, to make videos that hopefully you guys enjoy. To get this discount, head over to the link in the description. Now let's get back to the video.
The final category is costs. So up to now, I've spent £847. I've been here, I think, 17 days. So I'm still averaging about £50 a day. That's been split. I did spend about 150 quid on like proper tourist stuff yesterday, like cups, tin openers, bottle opener, a couple of hoodies, that kind of thing. So you could take that off and that obviously drops it down a little bit. Like I say, diesel, I've filled the LPG up as well. So not bad, really. Similar average to what I was before. 50 quid a day, I think, for one person is maybe a little bit on the slightly higher side. I wouldn't say really that it's been too bad. Not too expensive, definitely not cheap either. I could have definitely saved a chunk had I not been buying IPA or alcohol at all. Really, alcohol is obviously expensive in Norway. I remember that from last time. But in terms of food, it's not too bad. Diesel's not too bad. The LPG was relatively cheap as well. So I would say I could probably be at closer to £600 had I not bought drink and stupid hoodies and stuff. But that's it really. I don't know what else I can really cover. Everything's gone well. I feel good. The videos have been average. And yeah, Norway is incredible. I love it. So I apologise to anyone who was hoping for a vlog. The next one will be a vlog. Thanks for watching. Leave any questions or anything else in the comments below, and I'll pick all that up in a post-trip video, which I'll definitely be doing. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
This episode is part of a daily vlog series, so you can head back and watch the previous episode by clicking here, or if you're brand new to this road trip, why not jump back to episode 1 by clicking here and start it from the very beginning.